Hi again. Hi everyone. I'm glad you're here. I'm Vanna, and I wanted to talk about being young at heart. Again, if some of you have seen my other videos, I am in my 60s now, and I talk about the different stages of your life like from birth to 20 and 20 to 40 and 40 to 60, and that's what I'm in the 60 to 80 now. And I was just thinking the other day of, it's so funny that you don't really change as far as the things that you did when you were younger, and you feel like you can still do all of those things. Now, maybe not physically, but I'm talking about mentally and in your heart, what you used to do. And again, one of the things I did growing up was I loved to ride my bicycle, and I rode that, up till I got my license. And in skating, I think I mentioned skating, and just that I love to play tennis, and I love to travel and love to go to parks and swim. We swim in the lake. Back then we had lakes. We swimmed in the lake or ponds. And it's just so funny that I still have those desires. And I guess a lot of us do. You have in your mind, I can still do those things, and I still desire to do those things. But again, your body, as you age, can't. Some can't do that age. Some still can. I know, if you're joining a gym and they've got a swimming pool, I see a lot of older people in there, and I do that as well. But I just kind of wanted to talk about that desire. It's funny to me, that you still love to do those things when you were young. And the music, oh my gosh, music, you still like some of that same music. It brings back those youthful memories and makes you just feel younger when you're thinking about those things, or even still doing some of those things and listening to the music, and it doesn't go away as you age. But and I encourage you to try to keep doing them. Try to keep doing them. Now, I can't do everything, of course, when I was younger, but I want to try to do as much as I can in the age I am now. I want to try to continue on until I can't do them anymore. I mean, that's what you do until you can't physically do it anymore. But the one thing, and I had mentioned this before about my dad, that in his mind he could continue, and my husband does this too. He thinks he's still 30 years old sometimes, and I have to remind him that he is not 30 years old anymore. And because in his mind it's like, he's always been strong and can do, he could do a lot of things, but he just doesn't realize sometimes. And my dad was the same way, and and I'm the same way too. I think we all are in some respect. And but I want to encourage him to continue on. But right now, it's in the 60s to 80s, because that's kind of what I'm focusing on at this time, is, do as much as you can, but do it safely. You've got to kind of stop and think now, not like you used to when you were younger. It's like, yeah, I can do, let's go, I mean, let's go climb that mountain. And that's what we used to do, but I can't do that anymore. And so you have to really stop and think about, okay, am I physically able to do this? Can I do this? And you really stop and think about, can I do this? And you could do a little bit. You might not be able to do that whole thing you did before, but as you know, I'm a mover. I want you to keep moving. I want to encourage to keep moving. And you may not be able to do the whole thing like you used to, but you might could do a little bit, and that's better than nothing. And that's the way I always think. Well, it's better than nothing. Do a little bit, step by step, whatever, you know, and just do it. And so I just want to encourage you, keep aware of your age, what you are now, to stay safe. You don't want to be breaking bones. You don't want to be damaging your body, you know, and as you get older, it may take a little longer to heal, you know, especially, oh my God, especially hips. You know, you do not want to break your hip. And I know a lot of people have, and I've seen it, you know, in a nursing home and in the hospital. And that's, and at this age, and I think in this era of the 20 years is prevention. You want to prevent damage. You want to prevent accidents. And so you've really got to think before you do. Think before you do anything. And ask yourself, okay, I might can do that, but I might have to do a little bit. And just have common sense. I mean, we're intelligent people. Common sense. You know, use them. You've got them. So I just encourage you to stay young at heart. You know, it keeps you going. It gives you purpose. And just, you know, and do the best you can, little by little. And stay young at heart with me. And let's continue this adventure together. And follow me, hit the button, and have a great day today. I wish you all the best. Take care.